Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me today. Today we're speaking the language of the vegan. So today I want to share with you this awesome vegan recipe book that I got in the mail that I am kind of a little bit in love with. It is the Food 52 Vegan Recipe Book by Gina Hamshaw, and it has 60 vegetable-driven recipes for any kitchen. First and foremost, first impressions are that this book is completely beautiful. This book just, it's like it makes you want to cook just because it's so gorgeous and it just appeals to you so much. Here is a beautiful example of how gorgeous the photography is in this recipe book. Don't you just want that on your plate right now? Like, get in my belly. Oh my word. So much gorgeous photography. The food looks amazing. Tomato soup for the autumn. Hello. I love this. So many things appeal to me about this recipe book. Even though I am not exclusively a vegan eater, I really have always enjoyed eating real vegetables and things that I grow in my garden, herbs. I haven't grown that many fruits in my own gardens, but I love to eat real food when it's in season, preferably that I get from the farmer's market. So at least I am nourishing myself as fully as possible. So that being said, I have always, for as long as I can remember, erred on the side of adding extra goodness to my body fuel, and so vegan recipe books and recipes just really appeal to me. In that vein, one of the things that really appeals to me about this particular recipe book is the author Gina's intro to this book, and it's just the best way to kickstart this book. And it essentially says, in a nutshell, at its heart, vegan food is just real food. You know, so many people, I believe, have this arm's length approach to veganism and vegetarianism for that matter, because they see it as a diet or this, hippie way of life, when really you can make your side dishes and your main dishes and your breakfast and your vegan so easily, and incorporate other dishes that you may be completely missing out on just by excluding these kind of beautiful dishes. So at the heart of veganism is just real wholesome food, true fuel for your body. It is what your body craves, it is what it was born to eat, and it is delicious. So I love that. I love that the author and the editors who wrote a foreword to this book aren't saying you have to be vegan, you have to be vegan all the time, and you never have to stray, and da-da-da. It's just saying, here is a beautiful book that gives you many wonderful tools for wonderful, beautiful recipes that will fill your body full of nourishing goodness. And if you pair it with something else, great. If you eat it on its own and strictly stick to a vegan diet and lifestyle, wonderful. But here is our gift. So that's what I love. That's one of the things I love. Number two, what I just adore about this book, and in a lot of ways, I think it's comparable to the classic Joy of Cooking book, even though clearly this is a lot less dense a book than the Joy of Cooking. But this recipe book has so much information packed in to the recipes themselves, as well as blurbs throughout the book. So just like in Joy of Cooking, it is a wonderful resource to learn about food and food preparation and alternatives. Vegan 101, this page right here, has just a quick layout of where to find certain focus questions and information. But throughout the book, I really enjoy that it gives many alternatives to, if you don't care for this, eat this. If you don't like this, use this. A great example of this is in a recipe that calls for almond milk, let's say, as a wonderful dairy alternative. But maybe you don't particularly care for almond milk. Maybe you have a nut allergy. Maybe for whatever reason you don't have almond milk in your refrigerator, but you do have soy milk or you do have coconut milk. And what's lovely is so many times in this recipe book, Gina gives you those kind of alternatives and suggestions. She says when an alternative milk to the one in the recipe may not work, and here's the reasons why. Or if you like a blah 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 flavor, try this milk instead. So there are lots of wonderful places where throughout the book and across the recipes and across the courses, because it's sectioned into courses, that Gina does give a lot of lovely examples of when alternatives will work in this recipe as well for a different flavor or a different need. So that's really cool. Gina also offers a lot of just beautiful copy throughout this book. It's not fluffy, it's not, you don't get the feeling that it's in there and it's just meaningless information that she's just throwing at you just because she had to have something to introduce the recipe. It is beautiful, beautifully worded, beautifully describing the recipe, beautifully describing kind of some of the information about it and some of the benefits of the primary ingredients. She does such a lovely job of truly introducing you to the recipe that she's presenting. And I really appreciate that from an artistic standpoint, but also just from, a standpoint of it just brings the entire beautiful book full circle for not only for, the photographer to have done a very good job or for the editors to have done a very good job putting it all together into this final form, but it is beautiful in and of itself. The way each page is lined up, the way that the recipes are presented, the additional information that she offers on so many of the pages. This is a lovely, lovely recipe book that I highly recommend picking up, whether you live a vegan lifestyle or not. This is a wonderful way to incorporate some really great recipes into your just daily existence. At the back of the book, she also offers, as an additional, Joy of Cooking, like I said, just info-packed awesomeness, this basic section where she lists information about egg replacements, so that you can take the information in this book and extend it to these other books, these other recipes, these other meals that you and your family love, but maybe you want to alter them a bit to be either fully or at least somewhat more vegan for one reason or another, for whatever reason that you want. Egg replacements, oat milk, nut milks, horchata, tofu feta, herbed cashew cheese. I mean, so many different ways to add to even your existing favorite recipes that aren't included in this book. And I really, really appreciate that about this book, that it not only applies information that you need for the recipes in this particular recipe book, but it also applies to your other recipes and your other family favorites and other recipe books and things that you make every day. So I highly recommend the Food 52 Vegan Recipe Book by Gina Hamshaw. I'm going to include all the links to this particular book, to her website, and to the Food 52 website as well in the description box down below. I have been posting pictures on my Instagram of as I've been making these recipes. They are just delicious. So much flavor, so much great color, and so much just heartwarming knowledge knowing that I am feeding myself and my family better fuel to supercharge our days. So thank you so much for sticking in here with me today. Thank you for subscribing and for liking and for just coming on this journey with me every single day. So thank you. Until I see you again, I hope that you are making it a great day. Here is our gift. So that's what I love. So today I want to share with you this awesome recipe.